I went to a delightful movie, downed some tasty donuts, and met the friendliest cab driver ever. And it was a grand old time. So several days ago, my friend and I decided to go see a movie. But not just any movie. The Lego Movie. Which was amazing. I don't usually get too excited about stuff, but...
Oh! Oh yeah! Woo! Yeah! Oh, doing the lightest jig there, laddie. Oh!
Actually, I do get excited about stuff. All the time, really. It's pretty normal for me.
It's a condition.
So I've been dying to see the Lego Movie for 1 week. That's as long as it's been out. But it felt like a long time. And everybody I asked about it was basically like, oh yeah, I've seen it. It's amazing. It literally changed my life. Really? Have you seen The Godfather or Citizen Kane? Yeah, garbage compared to this. Total trash. Are you serious? That seems kind of dramatic. This movie makes The Godfather look like The Godfather Part 3. Wow. You know what I loved about it though? The story, the character, the action, the emotions, and the humor. So everything. You loved everything. Yeah. Have you seen it yet? No, not yet. Ooh. But I really want to. I'm going to. I don't know what you're doing with yourself. So I knew I had to see it, and so did my friend. However, neither of us have a car to drive to the theater. What are you gonna do? We're trying to be environmentally friendly. Hey, cars are fine if you want to drive a steel and carbon stake into the heart of Earth and slap Mother Nature in the face. That actually hurt, kind of. I feel really bad for Mother Nature now. Yeah, my friend and I only ride skateboards made out of bamboo and grass. No, we don't really do any of that. We just don't have cars. But if anyone were to send one over, I wouldn't hate it, you know what I'm saying? I would actually sincerely appreciate it. That would be glorious. So anyway, my friend asked his automobile-owning roommate if he could give us a ride. He was a tad bit on the fence because he was busy that day, so things weren't looking good for us. But luckily, I had bought Chinese food for the three of us about a week earlier, and he had yet to pay me back. So I told my friend to tell his roommate that if he gave us a ride, I would consider us square. Fair deal. Even Stevens. And he agreed. And that just goes to show you, when given the opportunity to buy Chinese food for someone, always do it, because the universe will smile upon you if you do. I'm not sure how true that really is, but it works for me. And by works, I mean it happened to lead to a convenient car ride when I did it this one time, so I don't know if that's consistent. But hey, tomatoes, tomatoes, potatoes, potatoes. I don't think that phrase applies here, but whatever, let's just pretend it does. So we drive over to the movie theater, and on the way we pass this girl who's cranking up her music to the max and has all the windows open and is dancing around. Whoa! She didn't really sound like that though, that'd be scary. That was ape-like. And in response, my friend's roommate cranks up his music. You know how those kids will be.
Those crazy kids! I don't like them! Get off my porch!
Sorry about that, my inner cranky old man came out for a second. It's a condition. So we get to the theater and we go in and we see the movie, which totally lives up to the hype and absolutely knocks our socks off.
Blows us away. Slaps us silly.
I really gotta stop slapping myself. That was a terrible decision. And then we leave the theater and decide to head to Krispy Kreme to get some donuts, which is conveniently located just across the parking lot. Gonna buy my donut, gonna eat it right, gonna grab some Krispy Kreme delight. Apple fritters at night. Pew! Krispy Kreme delight. Whoop! Krispy Kreme delight. Now, despite that musical interlude, I don't absolutely love Krispy Kreme. The donuts aren't exactly the best in the world, in my humble opinion. I mean, I think I'm just saying this because I had super cheap, huge grocery store donuts when I was really hungry once. And to this day, I maintain that they were the greatest donuts ever. But there's like a 97% chance that the judgment of my taste buds was clouded by my hunger. You know how it is. Still, I'm not one to turn down a donut, so we get in line at Krispy Kreme. Now, at most, or maybe all Krispy Kremes, there's this long window next to the area where you wait in line, and you can look in and see the donuts going along the conveyor belt, getting dipped in oil and coated in glaze, like a waterfall of glaze. It's beautiful. Divinity in motion. You see the entire genesis of the donut, from dough to nut. That can't be right. From dough to finished product. And my friend and I are staring at this process, transfixed. It's the Willy Wonka's chocolate factory of donuts. And there's this middle-aged couple standing in front of us in line, also transfixed. At this point, my friend receives word from his roommate that he won't be able to pick us up because, as mentioned before, he's busy. So even though we really don't want to pay for one, I decide to call a cab. We forgot to bring our bamboo and grass skateboards. Classic boneheaded mistake. Embarrassing. And then we're waiting for the cab to show up. By this time, we're able to tear our gaze away from the window of donut magnificence, and we see that the couple in front of us hasn't moved forward in line at all. So I say, "Excuse me, are you in line?" And the lady says, "Oh, no." So we've just been standing there staring at donuts, not even in line, for like 10 minutes.
What a couple of amateurs.
And at this point, a real line has formed up by the counter. So we get in this line and are waiting to order when I get a call from the cab driver. He says he's here, but he doesn't see us outside, which is embarrassing because then I have to tell him we'll be out in a minute, and then he knows,
"We need to get donuts. Your donuts make me go nuts."
But he just says, "It's totally fine, no problem," which is great. Now we finally finally get our donuts. I get a New York cheesecake, a classy choice for the distinguished donut enthusiast, a maple bar, the old tried and true, and my personal favorite, glazed chocolate cake. A sinfully good treat. But not like an actual serious sin, because that would be bad. And donuts in hand, we head out to the cab, which is waiting outside. We thank the driver for waiting, and again, he says, no problem. But he had an interesting accent, so it was more like, no problem, no problem, no problem. Yeah, I can't do it. None of those actually sounded like him. I'm really not sure what ethnicity or nationality he was. But the point is, he had a unique voice. And then he starts chatting to Seb about how he likes to have friendly conversations with people so his job isn't boring, and how he meets a lot of interesting folks in his line of work. And we're cracking jokes with each other, and laughing and smiling. My friend and I still riding out the wave of cheer and heartwarmingness created by the Lego movie. This turns out to be the most genial, honest, lighthearted cab driver I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. He's like Ellen DeGeneres meets some other really nice person. He's a combination of Chewbacca's loyal friendliness with a dash of R2-D2's precocious demeanor sprinkled in. A Star Wars reference that was. So after a jovial ride, our journey ends. We bid nice guy McGoodriver goodbye. Fun fact, that's not actually his real name. And we head back to our rooms. It was a slam bang good time, if I do say so myself. And I do. So do yourself a favor and find the kind-hearted taxi driver in your heart. We all have one in here. And introduce him or her to the world. I'm sure we'd all love to get to know him. Or her again. Well, I gotta go. Our toilet and sink and door and air conditioning are all broken, and I told the maintenance guy I'd buy him some Chinese food if he fixed it. So, I'll catch you later. Wonder if he likes orange chicken. Maybe some wontons.